podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome people to episode 416 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Matt Foster. As ever, I am joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everyone.
and
Poopy Pants McGee.
And what do we have? What do we have this week, guys? What do we have this week? We have reviews of The Green Knight. It's finally happened. It finally existed. We also have the Many Saints of Newark, which Becky didn't watch. And
Sorry, guys.
And we have other bits. We have some what we've been watching between us.
I think we've all watched stuff separately. Well, obviously Ian has. It'd be weird if you came over and just watched films and then went all the way back to Wales.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be. You're right.
You're quite welcome.
I mean, yeah, you're always welcome. So we have those bits. I think we have less than we normally do, but that's because there's a lot of Bond stuff, which you can and Hellraiser stuff, which you can catch over on our Patreon feed there.
We've had a bit of a week as well, haven't we?
You've had a bit of a week, yeah. Just $2 a month. Ian has finally finished, after 2 years, Ian's Guide to Bondage.
Have you really been doing that for 2 years?
Over 2 years, mate.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. And we've started another marathon after completing the Bastards Get Sparkly. We have Jesus fucking wept, the Bastards Guide to the Hellraiser movies.
I think guide's a bit generous.
Yeah, the Bastards
Ruminations.
To the Hellraiser movies. So yes, heading over there. I'll finish up the show admin bit on here. We are a Pod Syndicate podcast, so you can find other great podcasts over there, including His Film, Her Movie, Children's Punter, Iron Sequel, Entertainment Landfill, and Rewatch Project across there. Also, you can find other bits of writing and stuff like that, which will be amped up shortly because with people going from the Pod Syndicate universe are going to LFF, and they'll be doing some bits on that.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah, fucking nerds, but that's
fucking nerds.
That's great. We love nerds.
We love nerds.
We love
nerds.
So we'll get into that. We've got trailers with some questions, and we've got other bits. What news has happened, Ian?
I don't know. What news has happened?
It seems a little bit. Everything seems a little bit sort of quiet at the moment. Things seem to be. Everything seems to be pushing towards the fact that the Bond movie comes out as we're recording on Wednesday, comes out tomorrow, and it's everyone's very excited about that, and I think it's kind of cool that people are excited about that.
I think it's a bit bonkers that people are like talking about who's going to be the next Bond before the last one's even come out.
I find it bonkers the names that keep coming up, and it's a bit like. You're not going to get these people are not going to sign up to what essentially is a decade. And you know, has there ever been a generally established star?
No, I mean,
Sean Connery
he wasn't an established movie star at the time.
Was he not?
No,
not really. I mean, it's interesting because it's somebody who needs to be prepared to be locked into doing something for like 10 to 20 years and basically giving up like a year of their life probably every 2 or 3 years to work on it. And also, frankly, it can't be a big star because of the salary they pull in. I mean, like Daniel Craig is obviously making some bank for these now, but he wouldn't have necessarily have been for Casino Royale. But now he's literally a producer, not just an executive producer, but a producer on these films. So he has got a real interest there, you know, and it's like names are being bandied about. And it will be interesting because, you know, Casino Royale was like a Bond origin tale when he was in his fucking mid-30s, you know, and it's like, could you do a Bond who isn't necessarily like Commander Bond or anything before that, and you mix that shit up and go for someone in their mid-20s. Even though, do you know what? To be fair, it might be. Who knows? We're in 24 hours' time, I'll literally be in the cinema watching it. But who knows? Maybe by the end of it, Lashana Lynch is still 007. It's not going to happen.
No.
But, God, could you imagine Piers Morgan watching it and that happening?
I don't
He
want
was
to.
apparently very upset about Daniel Craig's pink jacket last night.
That tweet was fucking incredible. Where it's like you're supposed to be like, it's essentially you're supposed to be James Bond, and people are like, no, he's not. He's Daniel Craig.
It is. It's. I have a severe issue with the fact that people like Piers Morgan exist, and Piers Morgan exists at the moment so much in people's consciousness is because people give it energy and oxygen, and the more that you fuel that fire, the bigger it's going to burn. If people just didn't pay attention to it, it would cease to exist.
Like GB News.
Yeah. Yes. I am very much. I'm looking forward to watching No Time to Die, anything like that. But I am very much on the. I kind of don't care who the next Bond is, but not in a. I don't give a shit. Why should I care? Anything like that. I'm just like. I know the people I don't want it to be, but I don't care who it is. And if it turns out to be one of those people, I'll be a little bit like, fair enough. And it's not because I don't like the people that it's been bounded about to be, but it's just like, I don't really want a Tom Hardy as Bond. It doesn't make sense to me. If it had been cast 7 or 8 years ago, yes. But now, it just feels a little bit like...
I want to see a Bond at the Academy movie, like at the MI6 Academy.
No, because this is a thing that leads into what Ian was saying a couple of weeks ago about it with Amazon acquiring MGM. Is the idea that we could end up with a TV series that's called Young Bond or something like that.
I think there's already like books called Young Bond, isn't there?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, Charlie Higson, I think, might have written some back in the day.
Yeah. So there could end up with a TV series, is that, and they force it on that. But yeah, the thing is, it's going to be interesting. What they're going to do is I think they're going to wrap everything up, and they're going to have literally a big Bond announcement thing, probably in sort of like February, March 2020, probably around Oscars time when films are a big thing and stuff like that. They'll do like
films are always a big thing,
but like are always around more in the media and bits like that. They'll do like an announcement of what the new Bond's going to be called and who is going to be the new Bond and who's directing it, and then when it's shooting, and they will literally just go bang with all of this, and it'll be like a big event thing that they'll host. And why not? I'm very much in that phrase of why not?
I kind of like, and I know it's a bit reductive, but I kind of like it to be some, because like obviously like Dan Stevens and Henry Cavill keep getting bandied about because they're very Bond-y anyway. I kind of like it to go back to being like suave Bond.
You mean the Bonds that you don't like?
I don't dislike the James Bonds in them though. I don't dislike Roger Moore or Sean Connery as Bond. I just don't like the movies. But I'd quite like it to go back to being like Daniel Craig's. He's just a bit fucking scrappy, isn't he? And I just
it will be an early 30s man of colour.
Yeah.
Who does not hold that much sway within the industry, but is definitely an up and comer.
Yeah.
I think that precludes the likes of Daniel Kaluuya and Riz Ahmed. Once an Oscar winner, once an Oscar nominee, I think they could have a lot of say, or would want a lot of say, because of the position they have rightly built for themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't think they would necessarily get it, at least at first blush. It won't be Tom Hardy.
No.
Because like he's white for a start, but also Venom is getting some decent, that's actually really fucking entertaining vibes. and he is creatively involved in those films now.
And like to the point of where if there's a Venom 3, it wouldn't surprise you if Hardy was directing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. In all honesty, yeah, I could see that.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I mean it's. I think Bridgerton guy, it would be interesting. I kind of feel like if it was this time last year, that could well be the way that they go. But I wouldn't be surprised.
I know nothing about, just quickly on the Bridgerton guy. I know nothing about him. I don't even think I've seen anything with him in. So he might be a really good actor. He might be really charismatic and all of these things. But I have never seen a single still of him at all. Even if it's from Bridgerton, which is a period piece, I think. I've never seen a single still of him where my brain doesn't automatically, at the bottom right-hand corner, put the Burton menswear.
I mean, yeah. Yes.
And there is just that about him that he just exudes Burton menswear.
I'm gonna, the odds I'd get on this are insane.
Who?
Put a British accent on Lakeith Stanfield.
Well, don't we already have that guy?
A British Lakeith Stanfield?
Yeah, isn't he the guy who was in Cruella? What's his name? What's his name? I can't remember his name. It's going to really annoy me.
Oh, hang on. He was in Yesterday as well. Joel Fry?
Yes. Genuinely.
Hang on.
He's not attractive enough.
No.
Have you seen Bridget and Burton's menswear guy?
People like him.
Yeah, but he's the most people have been told he's attractive rather than him actually being attractive.
Dude, I don't know. Like, Donna has told me on multiple occasions that he's attractive.
He's just so very plain, though, isn't he? He's so very Burton menswear.
Like the Kate Middleton of men.
He is like the Kate Middleton of men.
Nice.
Yeah, Joel, I just, there's something in the back of my mind that just thinks he could pull off Bond.
Who? The Fry Man?
Yeah. I also think Dev Patel could do it. I just don't think Dev Patel would want to do it.
Wow, yeah, he does look very Burton menswear. Yeah, fuck me. I mean, don't, because Burton menswear, gross. They should give it to Mike Flanagan's boy, but it's too old.
Raoul Cooley, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be a good Bond.
I think he's
After playing his denim daddy.
I think he's a little bit too politically outspoken.
Yeah. The fact that he posts pictures of himself from his POV of himself on the toilet looking at a picture someone sent him, like a thirst trap picture, just going, I'll never be able to go to the toilet without masturbating again or something. I don't think that would go down well as Bond. But he's an unknown, British. He's, really tan.
I don't think they're going to go for Raoul Cooley. The fact that he keeps calling people cunts on Twitter.
I'd probably be really excited for the next one, though, if they did.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Nice.
Oh, so before to follow up from last week's conversation that we had about Midnight Mass, which was on the recording, so it's fine, and I'm not going to get into it too much. Mark said that he'd watch the first couple of episodes, didn't he, and see what he thought, and then if he liked it, he'd watch the rest. Yeah.
Did I, mm-hmm. Right? Just to interject, did I watch the first couple of episodes?
Yeah.
There you go then.
What do you think, Mark? Yeah, I'm intrigued enough to keep watching. Great. Next night, shall we watch an episode of Midnight Mass? No, I've got films to watch. Right, next night, shall we watch? Shall we fucking watch? So we haven't got through Midnight Mass yet.
What nights were those, Becky?
I don't know.
Right? They were Sunday night and Monday night. Actually, they weren't Sunday night because we went out for a drink Sunday night. So they were Monday night and last night. Right? When did we watch the first film we needed to watch for the podcast?
No.
Monday night. So at the start of Monday night, we'd not watched Green Knight, either Hellraiser movie, or Many Saints of Newark, or anything else.
You need to prioritise.
So that was the reason why. And by the way, I am not moaning. I really like watching films for the podcast. It's not like we had to watch these films for the podcast. It's not that at all.
No, and I'm not either. One thing is we should have watched an episode of Midnight Mass and then a film.
We didn't start watching them until like fucking 10 at night.
I don't care. I don't sleep anyway. Laid awake upstairs at 3 a.m. thinking, watching fucking Midnight Mass now if Mark I just hadn't liked the first 2 episodes.
You can watch it anytime you want.
No.
All right, Becky. If we're going to have this out on air. I had a really bad migraine on Friday, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And I got home from working a 14-hour shift. I had a really bad migraine. What did you do when I said, look, I'm not going to be able to watch Midnight Mass tonight. Can we watch it tomorrow night? I'm just I need to go to bed. What did you do?
Watch the first 2 episodes without you. Because
Sorry.
I had to rewatch them with you.
Yeah. Yeah, watch the first 2 episodes without me.
It's really fucking good.
It's been all right so far. Trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into trailers. There've been a few, haven't there? That's not a trailer, that, you prick. Yeah. Ian, what you watched trailer-wise?
I feel awful because there's only one in my mind. Hang on. Hang on.
Actually, before you do that then, we watched the Finch trailer, didn't we? Because you watched it last week, didn't you, Ian?
Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah.
We watched the Finch trailer. Do you know what? Yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It looks inoffensively fine. Try to build a robot to look after his dog if he dies.
It's I Am Castaway Legend.
It is, yeah.
Pretty good, that. Well done.
But I'll spend time with that movie. It looks like it's one of those. If that movie is anything over 116 minutes, I will be worried.
It just looks a bit. Who's directed it?
A man.
So it's not a Spielberg movie.
No.
It's got real. I'm going to drag on your fucking heartstrings until you can't take it no more Spielbergy vibes to it. I am going to try and make you cry.
It's directed by a guy who directed episodes of Game of Thrones. Has he done a movie? No, he's just done Throny things. Holy fuck!
What?
I thought I recognised his name. It's directed by the guy who directed Repo Man.
Miguel Sapochnik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, does Caleb Landry Jones play the robot in that?
Yes.
Oh, fuck, it's just gone up a level.
The robot's called Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more excited for that now. So we watched the trailer for Finch. Have you remembered any, Ian?
There have been trailers and I've not watched any of them. I don't know what the fuck I've been doing apart from the one.
We watched Passing.
Looks really good. Actually.
Yeah, Rebecca Hall's directorial debut, I believe.
Yeah.
It does look very interesting.
Looks interesting, yeah.
I think Jordan Lauren will be seeing that next week, so I'll get them to talk about it if they do.
Oh yeah, because it's playing LFF, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks, Netflix film. They're amping it up at the moment. Netflix have got a lot of sort of big things coming out. What is it over the next few weeks? But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah,
How is a white woman getting a pass, pun intended, on making that movie? That is something I don't get. Like,
I want to say she's mixed heritage. There's some sort of personal factor to that film.
Okay.
Yeah. And what else? What's the full trailer for the first full trailer, I believe, for Spencer?
Yeah. I suppose that, yeah. Her mother is of African American, Native American, Scottish, and Dutch ancestry.
Wow, fair enough.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. Because the Spencer trailer, I suppose it was a tease. It's weird that there has been a teaser trailer for Spencer that then has to be followed up by a full trailer. That's just very odd. Yeah, what do you think of it? I haven't caught this yet.
It's the most Hallmark Channel shite that you could imagine.
It's odd. The thing is, I'm watching it going, it can't be that movie. It can't be that movie because of the
director's not shit, is he?
No.
Okay.
But it can't be that movie. But it does start to look like it is that movie. So I'm hoping that it's a great hoodwink.
I think they are trying to sell it to an audience.
I'm hoping it's a great hoodwink, but then I'm also hoping that it isn't a hoodwink that is also going to essentially try and tell an overtly sympathetic story to a character that might not deserve as much sympathy as people think. For that.
You can't say negative things about the People's Princess now.
Again, I'm going to caveat this with my absolute fucking disdain for the Royals and say, yes, I fucking can.
Are you going to see it?
Yes, I will go and see it, and I will go and see it as I do with anything, very much going in, wanting to go, right, bring it on, let's see what the fuck this is like. I'm hoping that it's not that movie that is in the trailers, because that looks just frankly awful. But it can't be that movie. I keep saying it can't be that movie.
I'll see it for one reason and one reason alone. That's Kirsten Stewart.
November 5th, baby. Sorry.
Oh, I'll be at a bonfire. We'll be at the village bonfire, Mark.
Probably, yeah.
What, doing the weekly sacrifice?
Oh my god.
I'd hope
If there is some Wickerman shit going on, we'd be well on board with that.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks, Ian.
Can you imagine that?
It's just...
Oh, you won't know these times. Wait, have you got some Wickerman shit going on? No, because we are down.
Jesus Christ.
We will happily build a pyre.
Yeah, I don't know how keen I am to sit through a movie of small posh children just going, "Mummy, what is it, Mummy?" all the time. Can't be out of that. So I really hope that there's less of that in the film. I mean, obviously it'll be more spaced out, but I hope there's not more of it in the film than there is in the trailer.
I hope it's 40 minutes of her spinning in corridors.
I mean, I'd watch that.
I watched that.
Thing is, I think some of it might be.
Yeah, that's it. And I watched it going, I hope it's I think I'm going to have as much fun watching the movie as I am watching the people walking into the movie and going, "Oh, you this isn't what you think it is."
One thing that I did find quite intriguing was the bit where she turns around and she goes, "Do you think they'll kill me?" And I'm like, "Oh, is it going to go down that route?" Because I'll be on board if it's down that route. Because I fucking, I'm not a huge fan of Princess Diana because she was a royal, basically, and I'm incredibly anti-royalist. But is it awful that she died? Yes. Is it awful the way that she died? Yes. But the royal family did kind of treat her like shit, and I think I hate them more. No, I know I hate them more. She was just...
What? There's so much to like.
She was just some fucking naive rich kid that stupidly married a man that she knew was still banging someone else. So part of it, yeah, is on her because she wanted to be a fucking princess. But...
What was she, like 18 when they married? He was 32?
Ridiculous. Gross. Absolutely. And it's fucking gross to look at as well. Like, there was literally nothing appealing about that man apart from his title and his money. So there's only a finite amount of sympathy that I can have for her. But I hate them more.
It's good. It's going to be a weird watch.
It's totally not a made for us film.
No, it is not. It's yeah.
But what I really want, I want it to be more of the, do you think they'll kill me vibe, because I want loads of fucking royalists to go see it and be like, oh yeah, fucking royalist, people's princess, and come out shook.
I want 40 minutes of spinning in corridors.
In pretty dresses.
Yeah. If the movie is 100 minutes long and 98 of it is just Kirsten Stewart spinning in fucking corridors, I'll be like, this is fucking brilliant. Yeah, and then we've got the biggie here. What's the biggie?
I mean, yeah, here we go. So this had been trailering in cinemas, like random kind of like cool indie cinemas for the last few weeks. And it finally came online. The trailer for Paul Thomas Anderson's Licorice Pizza, which, I mean, I was thinking about this today. You know, Mark's got very, very eclectic taste. Yeah. You know, he's got his boys. He's got his Pauly Shore. He's got his Mark Wahlberg. And he's got his Paul Thomas Anderson. It's I like Mark's reaction to PTA things. So I was very, very excited for Mark to watch this trailer because I knew how much he was going to like it. So, Mark, how much did you like this trailer?
A few things. Firstly, as a constructed trailer, it is perfection. In terms of the kind of the fact that this is giving away next to nothing of the fucking story, which is brilliant. It doesn't even bring in a lot of the characters. I mean, we've still got, there's no John C. Reilly in the trailer, I don't think. And, there are other people within the movie that are just not shown within the trailer. But it gives enough away to make you go, what? So hang on a minute. That's who Bradley Cooper's playing? Okay. And as well, the choice of the song and the way that that's intercut within the whole thing is just, it's Paul Thomas Anderson when he seems to be having an awful lot of fun. And Phantom Thread, I still think is an incredibly underrated movie, somehow.
That's the dressmaking one.
Yeah, There Will Be Blood is magnificent. So his what you would consider to be more serious movies are fantastic movies. But his more kind of like slice, like peeking through the curtain movies. So things like Boogie Nights and Inherent Vice. What this looks like, it's closer to those movies than it is to what you would consider his more prestige movies. But like I said, I really like Phantom Thread and I really like There Will Be Blood. But I've seen There Will Be Blood 3 times, I think. And that film's, 13 years old? But I've seen Inherent Vice, I think, 5 times already, and that film is like 5 years old.
Yeah, there's a bit of whiplash between like your Boogie Nights and your Inherent Vice type, and then your There Will Be Blood type.
But I think part of that comes from the fact that Paul Thomas Anderson is a cinephile who thinks that Step Brothers is one of the best movies of the past 15 years.
So he's an idiot.
And genuinely is like, this movie's fucking great. And it's not about, he very much is the kind of guy who you get a feeling like anything can impress him. He'll be as impressed with a great set piece as he will be with a great one-line fucking joke in a stupid movie if it's delivered brilliantly. He will be he seems like the type of director who he will be as excited to go and see fucking Holmes and Watson as he will be to go and see the next fucking like Rome when it came out on fucking Netflix, that
Yeah,
he will have been as excited about those because he wants to enjoy both of them for very fucking different reasons.
He's a fascinating case where he's basically what Chris Nolan is trying to do with like the saving cinema thing, but like in his kind of bigness and like just the epicness, epic sweep of what he's doing. PTA is doing similar, but just in terms of films are fucking brilliant, and there's loads of different types of films you can enjoy, and it's cool to have an eclectic taste in films. And even in this trailer, you get that. Like, I've seen a couple of people refer to the trailer as being pure vibes, and I get that. It feels like a hangout movie, but it also feels like a coming of age movie. It feels like a mainstream comedy. It feels like a romantic drama. It just like it's doing all sorts of things, and the rumored runtime of like 3 hours basically makes it feel like it's gonna have like an epic cinematic sweep about relatively limited subject matter.
Yeah,
and that's fucking awesome.
And it's the great thing about Paul Thomas Anderson movies is they're not trying to tell you anything beyond what the movie is. There's very little grand fucking scale. They're not talking about the fucking meanings of life or existence or anything like that. They are the stories of the characters that are there.
There's no message. It's what you take from it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's fucking. That's brilliant. You know, the fact that he managed to get Phantom Thread out there, and you only realise in the last like half hour that you're kind of weirdly watching a horror movie is brilliant. And he's very much an auteur filmmaker. He's a fascinating case when you take, for instance, the fact that you can pretty much sort of track around about their filmmaking careers between somebody like Paul Thomas Anderson and Quentin Tarantino, and the paths they've each sort of taken are very different. But you look at it, Tarantino's movies, you know, cost a lot of money but make an awful lot of money. Paul Thomas Anderson's movies manage to cost a decent amount of money, but don't really ever make money. But he keeps getting the money to make the next ones.
Yeah,
I think weirdly, and I might be alone in this. I might not be alone in this, and I might be saying something where there'll be people listening going, "Well, duh," but Paul Thomas Anderson, to me, a little bit is my Wes Anderson.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
To that, where when people say to me, you know, people say, yeah, but Inherent Vice means nothing. It's garbled nonsense. And I'm like, yeah, it is a little bit. But part of that is because of it's the people who are telling the story are not reliable narrators. And I will start making excuses for it. But in my soul, I just don't care if the person I'm talking to likes it or not. And I get the feeling that when I'm shitting all over Wes Anderson movies, the person I'm talking to is going, yep, I agree with you on that. And yes, it's right. But I don't care that you don't like it. And that is perfectly fine. Those people shouldn't care that I don't like it, apart from the creepiest fuck Moonrise Kingdom. But it's fine. And I think that Paul Thomas Anderson is just that for me. And then when people turn around and go, I mean, yeah, but his best movies are, you know, like The Master and what is that? I'm like, no, they're fucking not. His best movies are Inherent Vice and fucking Boogie Nights. And then you've got Magnolia, which is the kind of little meld of the two. And
it's in between, isn't it?
There's a great shot in this of Cooper Hoffman holding the phone and holding his hand over the phone, which is clearly a nod to his dad does that in both Boogie Nights and in Magnolia. And it's clearly
A nod.
yeah, let's have this fucking shot. But as well, he looks like he could be a really fucking quite a good actor, and this is his first film. I cannot wait. I am fascinated by Bradley Cooper in this.
Yeah,
the fact that he's literally playing John Peters, who was one of his producers on A Star Is Born.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think John Peters is a producer on A Star Is Born because he's got like a shitload of rights in the Streisand one.
He was a producer on that.
Did anything on the new one? Yeah,
I don't think they're Brolos or anything like that. But it's just there's a weird like connective thing there that just feels a little bit.
Apparently, it was originally offered to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he turned it down to do Nightmare Alley.
He did indeed.
But then isn't in Nightmare Alley, and Bradley Cooper's in Nightmare Alley instead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not great.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's it's going to be interesting, like these, because Licorice Pizza was shot in lockdown, and I think Nightmare Alley at least partly was shot in lockdown, and it just, I don't know. It's such a love between this and No Time to Die. It's such a lovely sign that like cinema is starting to get back to normal. That if throughout all this stuff, shit is still being made, and now shit is being released. And it's like we got No Time to Die this week. There's very little next week, but then after that, fucking strap in, like for the next 3, 4, 5 months.
Well,
Not
very
really
exciting.
fucking crazy. Just to kind of,
Well,
I keep doing this. Like the next time I buy a 12-pack of toilet roll, it won't be for here. Like the toilet roll that I have bought that is in our bathroom will be taken with us to the new house. And it's like I keep doing that. Like when it all goes bonkers for like cinema season, we won't be going to that cinema.
no.
It keeps really freaking me out. Sorry to interrupt.
We'll be
like
at
a bit of personal shit, but
we'll be at a new cinema.
yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We'll be at a new cinema, and apparently that cinema has had a full refit last year.
We'll be at a new cinema, then we'll be coming out of the cinema and going, do you fancy going and getting something from Social Distortion? We'll be like, yeah, instead of Spark.
What chain is it? The cinema.
Anyway,
Cinema, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
There is one closer, but it's like a Real Club or something like that.
there's one in fucking Beverley. Which
there's one in Beverley, yeah.
Yeah, really crazy. Like weird tiny cinema.
But the one that's in Hull is only like 20 minutes drive for, isn't it?
Sorry, I just when you said about that, I was like, fuck, that won't be at York, and it just keeps hitting me.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah, I mean, like Mark was saying earlier on that like the next couple of weeks of shows is going to be potentially. There's a lot of shit going on. So, if it's not normal service until more like mid to late October, that's why, basically.
Yeah.
But there'll still be weekly shows.
Show admin after recording, actually.
We already have before.
Halfway.
Yeah. No, we did it before before you came on. So just to confirm, basically, next week we'll do No Time to Die. Which I said to Jordan, feel free to come on for. I think he was up for it. So No Time to Die Monday, because I am seeing my first LFF film next Wednesday.
Okay.
And then the week after, basically, you guys can do some recording by yourselves if you want. If not, it's all good. I'm going to do some LFF stuff. We
could do a recording from a hot tub.
We might do a hot tub recording.
Or
that'd be great. That'd be great. We could we can. I can edit stuff together. It's all good. And then the week after that, so the week of Friday the 15th of October, we've got Halloween Kills and Venom.
Okay.
I will have seen a boatload more LFF stuff by then as well. The online press screening schedule came out today. there's actually a surprising amount of stuff that is online. So I'll be talking about that as well. So that following like Tuesday or Wednesday we'll record. So that will be like Tuesday the 19th, Wednesday the 20th. Which feels to me like by then you guys would probably be in a position to do some normal recording.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. What I was going to say was, obviously you'll more than likely be home quite a bit earlier than me, won't you?
Uh-huh.
So I don't know whether to keep things at around about the same time we do now. You start and do trailers and news, and then I'll get home probably about half an hour after you start recording, and then we can get into the review.
Oh, yeah, we'll just do it that way.
Do it that way.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be making you wait till like 7:15 when I get home.
I mean, is there an argument? Sorry, listeners, because I'm probably going to forget to edit this out. Is there an argument that we try and record on Sundays?
We'll probably be too drunk by then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isabel works. Isabel's got a new job, and I think she works Sundays as well. So it means one of us shopping all the way through to York to pick her up. So it depends. If we're not too drunk and we have to pick her up, we'll be probably in the car. So Sundays could be quite difficult.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm just thinking with doing the patron content as well.
Well, why don't you do trailers and news?
Mm-hmm.
I'll get home, we'll do the rest of the main show, and then we'll do the Patreon bit after.
We could probably do that. We'll work it out.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
It's going to be the same amount of time, isn't it? It's just...
Reverse.
No. I mean, no, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, we'll work it out.
I don't want to miss any Hellraiser shit.
No, well, no, exactly.
Shall we do a main review?
Yes, yeah. And sorry, patrons, thanks for sticking with us, but Licorice Pizza, holy fucking shit. Yes, please.
Yeah, God, yeah. I cannot fucking wait for that movie.
I really didn't vibe with this trailer. Like, I'll watch the film.
She's not like Joy.
No, because I love Inherent Vice. I love Boogie Nights.
And you didn't like the Inherent Vice trailer?
No. So I'll watch the film because I have no doubt that the film will be good. But I don't know, I think it's the Arrogant Girl vibes off of that girl that you said was in a band that neither me or Isabel had heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't like her.
Cool. But you didn't like the Inherent Vice trailer?
No. So, like I say, this didn't grab me.
What you're saying is that you're frequently wrong.
You've watched... No, very rarely wrong. You've watched this like a number of times, haven't you? And
5.
Put it on again the other day, and I thought, what are you watching? Oh, the Licorice Pizza trailer again. Right. Whatever, Mark.
Well, fuck you. Right. The Green Knight is a film that exists. It does exist. It is available on Amazon Prime now.
It's no longer mythical.
It's no longer mythical, but it is still mythical.
Wow.
In a whole different way. Written by and directed by David Lowery, and starring Dev Patel, Alicia Vikander, Joel Edgerton, Sean Harris, Ralph Ineson, Barry Keogh, Kate Dickey, and a few other people. What is it the story of? Let's get to the IM of the DBs and let's
decide not to try and butcher Sarita Chowdhury's name.
I did indeed try not to butcher Sarita Chowdhury's name there. Thank you very much for pointing that fucker out, Becky. IMDb: a fancy retelling of the medieval story of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Yep, that's what that was. Ian, you're a big Lowry fan.
I am.
Yeah. One thing that I've always really liked about David Lowery films is he very much trusts in his story and his visuals, and he isn't afraid to go out and throw out a 95 fucking minute movie. Did he get a little bit carried away with this and it being 2 hours 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting, this one. I would say yes. The word I described for it either on Letterboxd or Twitter after watching it was noodly. It's just a bit noodly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it is based on a long form poem, so.
Yeah, but
That's like starting a poetry, Rebecca.
you know, like the first 20-25 minutes are really like sitting up in your seat and paying attention and what the fuck's going on here then? This is cool. You know, very moody, very dramatic. Like establishes Gawain as they always used to say Gawain, but apparently it's Gawain according to this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, establishes him well. You know, his kind of like, ooh, you know, interesting relationship with Alicia Vikander. And like the visuals are really going off, and the score's doing good work. And then he sets off on his mission, and it just became a little bit too. Here's a bunch of short films stuck together. And maybe it's because I wasn't expecting that. And if I went and gave it another watch, would I reconsider that? And maybe I would. And I will say as well, you know, unlike these two, I am not a late night person. And yeah, I mean, they're not even going to say this is late night. I started watching it just after 9, and I got done with like going to the toilet and whatnot about 10:30.
Where are we in?
All right. So for me, like finishing a film at like 11:30 is like pretty fucking late, if I'm honest. So maybe that was a factor. I could sense you two taking the piss out of me, even though you're not saying.
we didn't start watching Hellraiser 2 last night until 11:30, did we?
Fuck's sake. Yeah. All right. Fine. Good for you.
We're probably the ones in the wrong, to be fair.
Oh
We're
god,
all
yeah.
tired.
Yeah. yeah. We are the ones who are not doing life right.
I don't know, at the moment, though, bored of going to bed at midnight and being good, and then just laying awake. So fuck it. Why not watch more movies?
Oh no, totally, yeah. No, I mean, like by contrast, I'd finished Hellraiser 2 by 10 o'clock last night. And I was like, that's that done. But no, so it might be that, but like the bit with the girl from Rogue One and Falcon and the Winter Soldier whose head was off.
Yeah, that side mission.
What? Yeah, like not entirely sure what that brought to it. I mean, the other Alicia Vikander and Joel Edgerton bit, you know, it's about 20 minutes or so, and all I got out of it really was, so they're swingers?
Yeah.
Just the whole allegory of the story is that he has to learn to graciously fulfill the deals that he makes.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So it's not a pointless bit, is it?
No, but no, I mean that's fine. It just, I don't know, when it basically becomes, is he gonna jerk off if Alicia Vikander jerks him off? Is he gonna come if Alicia Vikander jerks him off? I don't know. I clicked out of it. However, stuff with the Fox was great. It looked fucking brilliant. Loved the score. Loved Dev Patel. And I fucking loved the last line of the film. I fucking love how Ralph Ineson delivered that. It was fucking brilliant. And it really took me by surprise. Because I thought it was going to be, okay, he's done the gracious thing. And the knight is going to let him off because he's learned his lesson. But no.
Oh.
So, I'm very, very intrigued. Because from what Becky was saying there, I think maybe she clicked in more with it. But for me, it was style over substance, but there was so much style that it actually kind of got me over that hump. But maybe if I just, I don't know, thought about it a bit more and maybe watched it if I was just a bit more awake, then that probably would have helped. I don't know.
Bex, was it as how can I phrase this? Was the film as focused as you expected it to be, or was it a little bit like Negan said, a little bit more? It is quite noodly, and it is quite noodly.
It is quite noodly, but I love the noodliness of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I liked the meandering kind of vibe to it. And from what I've read, it is quite faithful, apart from the fact that he fucks Alicia Vikander.
No,
she jerks him off. Apart from that bit, it is quite faithful to the source material from what I've read. I've not read the medieval poem that it's based on, but
haven't you?
So it's kind of what you expect if you're adapting something off of that time. Like medieval stories are a bit like that. There is like side shit. So yeah, and it looks beautiful. I very much enjoyed the giant people. They were fun. It gave me real because you obviously what?
Just the fucking fox essentially just barked at the giant and going like, "Fuck off, you."
Yeah, good stuff.
Obviously, Ian, you said that Hellraiser 2 gave you S&M Labyrinth vibes. This gave me real kind of like not in like content and stuff, but real never-ending story vibes. Just that real kind of fantastical, immerse yourself in this world and just enjoy it kind of way.
Yeah.
I loved it. I really loved it.
I do wish I went to see it in the cinema. I think I do think I did it wrong. So my review is majorly caveated by I think I probably need to give it another go at some point. But God, I wish I saw it in the cinema. But there was one cinema, I think in Wales, showing it, and that cinema is a little bit of a trek. I could have done it, but it would have cost me £13.50. And when I'm going to drive over an hour round trip and pay £13.50, or I can just watch it at home.
There is an element of that.
I wish we'd seen it in the cinema. To be fair, the fact that Cineworld have been advertising the fuck out of it and then just haven't shown it annoys me.
I think that's more to do with distributor than Cineworld.
If it had come out in early August, we all would have seen it in the cinema. But it's what we were left with. Yeah.
And for us, it was parking a trek, watching it in a cinema that I don't like.
I hate everyone.
And going from there. So yeah, it was a bit of a pain, but it does look it looks fantastic.
When I say I wish I'd seen it in the cinema, I wish I'd seen it in any cinema that wasn't Everyman. If it was shown at City Screen, parking aside, we'd have gone and seen it. If it was at View, we'd have gone and seen it. I just hate Everyman.
I think I am probably the lowest on it out of the three of us.
That was an Ian. I thought you liked it.
I did, but Ian. I think Ian's probably going to watch this again. I don't think I need to watch this again. Because I think for me, anyway, I think it would start to... I enjoyed the visuals of it. I thought that the story was far too meandering for me. And I quite like meandering things, but I also don't like...
anything over 90 minutes.
Not even that. But yeah, you're right. But I also... I'm not a big fan of essentially medieval set stuff.
No, you're not.
It doesn't click with me for some reason.
What about Dev Patel's magnificent hair, though?
I mean, Dev Patel's fucking glorious fucking petrol blue hair was magnificent within the film. Yeah, and I thought acting wise, I thought the whole thing was well done. Everybody in it is great. And as a story, it's fantastic. I just think that there's a couple of side missions it didn't need, and there's a couple of bits where it goes off too much on it for that. But the visuals are fantastic. The Fox is great. I like that guy. I don't know why, but
No, he's a good dude, is the Fox.
Just going back to my regular argument about this though.
what about Fox?
Use a fox. I mean, granted, yes, foxes can't
It's going to be
talk.
harder to train a fox to do that shit, babe.
All he does for most of it is walk alongside him.
Yeah, but
There are trained.
But he's got a fucking vibe as that fox. There's something about him.
All right, make your CGI fox look more like a real fox then.
I think he's supposed to look like a kind of mythical fox. I think he's supposed to look a bit bouncy.
Fine.
I think that was intentional. Because I think if they could have just used a real fox, I think Lowry would have just used a real fox. You know, I think he's that type of filmmaker. There's a look. Let's work out a way we can do these practically and make it look impractical to him. In a similar way to the way that Villeneuve shot the bits of Blade Runner 2049 that look like they well, that's just fucking CG, and it isn't. It's clever filmmaking and piecing things together. The giants they're not just CGI giants, they're actors and what is it, and it's clever filmmaking putting these things together. So I think the idea exploring the idea of it being a fox will have been a conversation, and it will have been, look, we just can't get foxes don't look the colour you want them to fucking look and bits like that. It looks a bit like a mythical fucking fox.
Our local Huntington foxes are bright orange.
They're not that bright orange, are they?
Maybe not.
No.
On a side note,
yeah.
Remember a few weeks ago when I was trying to remember who the creepy guy was that pops up in stuff that's quite young that wasn't Caleb Landry Jones, and I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Barry Kieran.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the fact that he turns up in this and you're thinking, oh, come on, Dev. You must know that he's sketchy.
Sketchy as fuck.
Yeah.
Just looting dead bodies. I mean, he should have known.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have known, and that he was about to get done over.
I did like that whole bit just ended with him basically just fucking off with the horse.
Yeah.
And leaving the other two to it, and just be like, right, I'm off on an adventure. Fuck y'all. You know?
I got a horse.
Oh, you got a dying horse. Yeah.
It's a weird one in the fact that it's very good to look at. It's really well acted, but I did find myself wanting it to fucking just hurry up a little bit more. But it's spectacular to look at. The design of the Green Knight is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I think the cleverness of Lowry as a filmmaker of getting the right people in these roles. It's fantastically cast. Having getting Sean Harris to play essentially an aged King Arthur.
He's dead good as the king.
And he's really good as the king. And then Kate Dickie as Sean Harris's Guinevere. It makes perfect sense.
That does make sense. That tracks. Yeah.
Yeah. It just it's you look at it going, that's perfect fucking casting.
The only thing I know her from, really, I think, is as the mad bitch in Game of Thrones, and she's got a similar vibe in there.
It's just honestly. Look
but not that I would recognise.
Well, that's the great thing. She's a great character actor. But then also as well as of having Ralph Ineson as the Green Knight, again linking in with everything. It's a well put together cast that all makes perfect sense when you go, but that's that character and that's character. You go, yeah, all right. And then for that to be put together by an American filmmaker from Wisconsin, even Lowry, he's working a fucking different wavelength to a lot of modern filmmakers, and I fucking dig that about him. And what is it? He's doing another Disney one next, I believe, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing the new Peter Pan one where it's like Jude Law's Hook.
Yeah, and you're going, do you know what? Him doing Peter Pan, yeah, that's going to be it's going to be really entertaining, but it'll be really fucking interesting, and it'll have a mood to it.
Is this a PTA kind of situation then, where it's like a Whiplash director?
No, yeah, I think
I've not seen Pete's Dragons.
I think he very much has a style to his films, and I think he's one of those filmmakers where you can feel within like a few minutes that you're watching a Lowry film.
Yeah. The thing is, I really didn't like Ghost Story.
No, you didn't get on with it. Whereas both me and Ian really liked it, and I really dug it. But like, the Old Man the Gun was fantastic.
Yeah.
Ain't Nobody Saints is flawed, but is a very good looking movie.
I don't think I've seen it.
And Pete's Dragon's brilliant.
Really want to watch that. It's on Disney Plus, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Pete's Dragon is so much. I think you will really like Pete's Dragon.
Bear with 2 seconds. Yeah. Well.
A good segue.
Yeah. So we'll wrap up Green Knight in a minute, but as we're going, we're not doing the Red Shoes this week because I asked to not do the Red Shoes this week because literally I have not had time with finishing up the Bondage shows and doing the Hellraiser stuff. So we'll be talking the Red Shoes on the next show. The next regular show after that, we will be talking about Pete's Dragon because it won the Patron's Choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I pick?
Pom Poco.
Oh, of course.
You picked Pom Poco, Ian picked Pete's Dragon.
But now I get to still watch Pom Poco and watch both Pete's Dragons.
So
on Disney Plus. How exciting!
I think because it didn't win, I think you're legally not allowed to watch Pom Poco now.
Well, Mark, you're legally not allowed to watch Poison Ivy. They both tied with 25% of the vote. Pete's Dragon won on 50%.
Fucking, which pervert fucking voted for that?
You wanted my next one, yeah?
Oh.
What? Let's. Oh no. Like if we pick one now, considering like the break in recording and whatnot, we probably won't get to it for a month. Yeah. Let's leave it a bit.
I'll forget.
Write it down. Yeah. So I mean,
especially for Ian.
No idea what that's going to be.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, I'm definitely not shit on the Green Knight, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. To be clear, I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Like, I thought it looked amazing. I thought Dev Patel did a great job in both the kind of being strong and also being a bit of a fucking weedy dickhead. Like, he managed to straddle that line really well. And it's a film of ambition. And it's got enough in it to keep you occupied. I feel like I want to have another crack at it. The thing is, I don't know when I will feel like I want to have another crack at it.
It's one of those, I think, at some point you'll go, do you know what? I have that free time here. It might be in like 6 months' time or something like that, and you'll go, fuck it, I'm going to give it another go.
Yeah, I could see it. I don't know, when we're talking about year end, I feel like maybe I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't give it another go. But yeah, sorry, Bex.
Yeah, I mean, I also give it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
And I feel okay with that.
You just thought you'd come on here and neg all over it, yeah?
Apparently.
It's any negging from my part. It's just because I really, really, really fucking like David Lowery.
I am definitely not shit on it.
Yeah, same.
And our audience, but I'm guessing we're all definitely not shit on that one.
Yeah. Paul said.
And our audience poll, definitely not shit, 50%, touching cloth 29%, shit 14%, and Geostorm 7%.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because all like the reviews coming out were basically all this thing is fucking incredible. And then you get one of us saying this thing is fucking incredible, 2 of us going, yeah, it's really good, but ... and then a poll like that. But it's I don't know, it's that whole disconnect between like professional critics and like audiences it's an interesting discussion.
Yes.
And,
Yeah. I hate to fucking quote it because it's like fucking nails on a chalkboard now for me. But the whole Rotten Tomatoes critics verdict versus audience is quite amusing.
Yeah.
On that. Ian, what have you been watching?
I haven't been watching anything, and I need to go pee.
Hey Hannah, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely, that doesn't
Netflix.
make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Anna
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Panzer as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
Hey, you like my voice, don't you? It's enticing and exotic and sexy. Well, unfortunately, I'm just a promo guy being paid to advertise a movie podcast, and I can assure you that its hosts don't sound anywhere near as classy. But don't let my superior vocal talents discourage you, and go listen to His Film, Her Movie, the podcast where every episode the hosts must each choose a film to watch and discuss that has a connection to the chosen theme of that week's show. So stop aimlessly scrolling through whatever streaming service you're on, and let His Film, Her Movie give you an idea on what to watch next. You can catch it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
On my own,
Yeah.
The Iron Giant.
Right.
It's a real comfort film for me, The Iron Giant. You can have a little bit of a cry. It's a bit sad, but it turns out all right. It's very heartwarming, and it's just really, really, really fucking good.
Well told, wasn't it?
It is a giant made of iron. It's a bit where he was good until they started pointing guns at him, and it just makes me really sad. Just if we could just stop being threatening and shit. There's like a whole message there about just don't be a dickhead.
It's a fantastic film, is Iron Giant. It's one of those great movies that literally found its place after being kind of ridiculed as being a disaster and all this lot when it first came out, to it actually kind of found its place by actually being a really fucking good movie.
Yeah, it is really good. I didn't realise it wasn't.
No, I think it was a bit of a bit. I'm fairly certain a bit of a commercial bomb was the Iron Giant. Let me just see if I'm talking fucking absolute fucking bobbins, because it's me. It's going budget 50 million, made 31 million. It was a bit of a.
Wow.
It came out in that period where it was very much like late 90s, where I think you'd had you'd had what's it Toy Story 94, 95, I believe it was, wasn't it? And then after that you'd had I think it was 97, I believe, was A Bug's Life.
Right.
It might have been 98. And you were starting to get these movies were coming out, and these were the ones that people were. There was an idea that the world didn't want hand-drawn animation anymore. It just wanted, what became Digimation, and a different form of animation. So yeah, sorry, A Bug's Life had been 98, and then Toy Story 2 was 99.
Yeah.
And so it was.
That's what it was up against.
Yeah, there was an idea that this was the newfangled fucking thing, and Disney were lagging behind, releasing things like this and Treasure Planet and things like that. So that was the idea, but it found a bit of a voice as the years went by, because people who did see it connected with it, and people who did see it, lauded how great it was. And I think then once you hit the sort of early noughties.
What's this? Sorry.
Let's watch Iron Giant, and we've talked about the fact that it was considered a critical flop, and it was because audiences wanted Digimation at the time, and then it started to get sort of reevaluated as the Ghibli explosion hit in sort of mid noughties.
People rediscovered their taste.
People started going, well, actually, I always really liked hand animation. It's like, well, yeah, that why don't you go and watch the fucking Iron Giant, you prick? And there's bits of that.
So Brad Bird defected after that, then.
Yeah. Does that follow on quite nicely into what you watch next, Becky?
It does. So following on from the giant metal chaps vibe, I watched Laputa Castle in the Sky.
Of course.
Nice.
Which again is just it's like Iron Giant's great, Laputa is next level great, beautiful, absolutely fucking stunning to look at. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's about all I can organise my brain to say about Laputa. I absolutely adore it. It is one of my favourite Ghibli movies.
It's the best Ghibli movie.
I mean,
yes,
it's definitely up there.
As the best.
And yeah, giant metal men that bring birds and flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what else then?
That's it. That's what I watched on my own.
All right.
I started watching Nausicaa, but did not get to finish it.
So yeah, so it's all right, cool. So just what I watched on my own then to do. So yeah, so you watched two classic animated movies, two of the most highly regarded animated movies of the past 20 odd years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rewatched War Dogs.
The one person.
This isn't watch number 1. No. This isn't watch number 2. No. This isn't even watch number 3. This is watch number 4.
Clusters.
That's 3 too many.
Of Todd Phillips' classic War Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing is, I have a thing for I have a thing for Todd Phillips movies, but also I have a thing for these weird little based on true stories things that are based around true stories. They're always based around true stories, but of essentially fucking idiots accidentally doing something and it failing spectacularly because what would you have it? They're idiots.
Is this why you also like the Nick Cage? Is it Lord of War?
But that's a different one. That's a heightened one. There's a control there. There's a thought process there. But I do like that where you've got something that sprawls along and it is something that basically points out something shady and then shows you it in a cool way that will make idiots think, oh, that looks cool. But it's like, no, look what happens at the end. Like when people said that Wolf of Wall Street was aspirational.
Yeah,
it's like, no, it really fucking wasn't. They're all terrible people.
Did you not watch the end?
Yeah. And, he ends up being a shonky salesman. So there's things like, there was one called Kid Cannabis that came out a few years ago. I've seen that twice. It's not even that good. you know, and I'm not even going to go as far as to say that War Dogs is good, but Jonah Hill's laugh in it may be one of the greatest gifts to cinema.
I like Jonah Hill.
His laugh in this is magnificent.
I can't remember that.
He's got this laugh where he basically just, and it's a laugh that he's clearly perfected for this character.
Yeah.
That is just magnificent. See if you can like YouTube a Jonah Hill's War Dogs laugh, and we can see if we can. It must be there. But it's War Dogs laugh. Here we go. I'm going to try and see if this will play through and it'll go across. Apparently it won't, because apparently my...
No, it's fucking it.
Listen.
Yeah. You looking for weed? Hands, you got good shit?
It's just a fucking thing of his laugh.
Sell him his shit.
It's that throughout it. And it's just glorious. But the thing is about films like this, I am aware that I am probably the only person to watch this movie 4 times.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of the fact that if I ever met Todd Phillips and I told him that I'd watched War Dogs 4 times, even he would go, Why?
Yeah.
I made that movie. I think I made that movie. And even I haven't watched it 4 times, you fucking idiot. And the thing is, yeah, I'm probably a fucking idiot. Do you know what else?
I don't think there's a probably to be had there.
Do you know what else?
Go on.
Won't be the last time I watch it. Yeah, won't be the last time I watch it at all. I like War Dogs. It's fun. It's stupid. The people in it are stupid. The actual story might not be that accurate or anything, but yeah, I like it. It's not a hill I'm willing to die on at all. If
Jonah
anybody,
Hill.
well played.
Thanks.
If anyone called me an idiot for watching it that many times, I would go, yeah, I am an idiot. But you know what? Calling me an idiot just makes me want to watch it again.
The thing is, it's fun enough. Is it watch it 4 times fun? No, I wouldn't have thought so. But then I will rewatch schlocky, shitty horror movies.
Yeah, but yeah. So
It's what brings him joy.
It does. You know, like when you have your comfort movies, everyone has comfort movies that they like to watch. Shit like that is my comfort movies.
Yeah.
I can just switch them on and turn my brain off and go, yeah, this is fun. This is Jonah Hill just fucking laughing like that, and just rank stupidity.
Fair.
Yeah. So what else did we watch this week next?
We watched the absolute fucking masterpiece, Stand By Me.
We did watch Stand By Me. Another one of your
Nice.
comfort movies.
It is actually, yeah. It's it's like a hug. It's Stand By Me. I know it's about the search for a dead boy, but
it's not, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So
It's a movie where Rob Reiner, who literally at this point was having one of the all-time fucking cinematic hot streaks. I genuinely don't think enough is made of Rob Reiner as a filmmaker, but the fucking hot streak he was on at this point, you know, this is Spinal Tap, and then the Show thing, which is, you know, criminally underrated. But then Stand By Me, Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, and A Few Good Men.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking...
It's a run.
That's a run.
Yeah.
You know, not many filmmakers have a run like that. Granted, he then made North, but yeah, and then has never really got it back since.
It just feels really lived in. Like the characters all feel like real kids.
Yeah. And
the world feels real. Like how they interact with the adults in the movie feels real. It's just fucking great. And it is one of those, like, you've got Different Seasons by Stephen King, in which you've got obviously Stand By Me, The
Yeah.
Body. You've got Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
And then what are the other two? The Breathing Method and.
But I think what's brilliant about this is you're watching a movie that essentially is for the vast majority of it, for like 90% of it, is for
Beautiful.
kids just walking somewhere.
Yeah. And singing some kick-ass songs.
And yeah, and like they're not having. There's no big fucking like. There's a set piece in it.
Yeah, you said this, didn't you, when we were watching it? There's only really one.
There's one. The train is the only set piece within the entire thing, and Reiner perfectly balances it by having it happen smack bang in the middle of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't leave it to the end and go, let's have a crescendo at the end, because
It's not the climax.
no, it's not. It's there to join. Like if you see, and you spent a bit of time there, you've got to know them, you've got to know the personalities, and then you have the train seat, and that is the bit that makes you give a shit about them. And then you're going on the rest of the journey, and they can all have their emotional moments. And also as well, the fact that it's not a long film,
No.
but it's because the emotional moments that these kids have had so far, they're supposed to be 12, 13 years old. So the emotional moments that they've had are small because they've not lived for very long, but they are the bits that are starting to define them.
Yeah.
And it's such a well-crafted movie, and Reiner manages to get great performances out of 4 very young actors.
Yeah.
And I also
4 very good young actors, though.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I also like the fact that Jerry O'Connell, every time they bring out a new version of Stand By Me, will always go into a store and look at it and go, and then just tweet or Instagram a picture of him next to it going, why is it always that image of him running? What else did we watch next?
We also watched Escape from LA, Mark.
We did indeed.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to be watching that in the next few weeks.
Oh, we won't talk about it then. We'll talk about it in a few weeks. We watched
need
it
to-
time to be able to remember.
Yeah.
We'll do a record.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we need to do a retro review of Escape from LA. Okay, good.
Yeah. What I would say is I still really like Escape from LA.
yeah, it's very good.
I don't think that Escape from LA was my first carpet in the cinema.
Wow.
Nice.
On my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember Escape from LA being a big deal
Yeah.
as a movie. Like this was a fucking blockbuster when it came out. It was like a summer blockbuster. It was like a fucking huge deal and like a big thing on movies that then became movies, games, and video. There was like a big fucking like big special on the fucking special effects that were used in Escape from LA, and I remember watching it Saturday morning, and it was like it was vividly like one of like the first like big fucking movies.
Yeah.
That also looked really fucking cool.
That's great. And
It's
I would.
film.
If there was a bastards drinking game, I think people needed to take a drink there where Becky asked, who did you go with? And Mark said, no one.
Oh, God, I was going to say something to Ian. I was going to tell him a story. What was it? I said to you the other day, I want to tell Ian about that.
Okay.
It was an animal story, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was the rabbit ears.
Oh, God, yeah. So the place that we're moving to, there's a crazy golf course that's just opened, and when we went through a few weeks back, we went to check out what the new crazy golf course was like, because obviously it will be getting frequented, and it's like really well done and everything and blah blah blah. And Mark was like, I said, oh look, there's like animal statues and stuff around, like big animal statues in there.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that the rabbit looks really good. And he was like, which one? I was like, there's only one. He was like, no, there's 2. Look, there's one there and there's one there. I was like, that's a fucking squirrel, Mark. And he was, he said, no, it's not. It's a rabbit. It's a lady rabbit, because they don't have as long ears as man rabbit.
Great.
Mark's just
Great.
lived his whole life thinking that lady rabbits have got these little stumpy ears. I just wanted to share that with you.
The problem
No, I
was,
enjoyed that.
is as I was saying it, I started to go, oh, wait a minute, no. No. They do have really long ears, don't they?
You're a beautiful idiot, aren't you?
Well done.
Honestly, the animal world fucking confuses
really
me.
does, yeah. It's alright that you met a giraffe once.
I did meet a giraffe once.
Did meet a giraffe once.
Animal
That
world.
was it. That was the whole story. I just felt you'd enjoy
I
it.
like that. Thank you for sharing.
You are welcome. Don't swear at me.
Right, well, we're going to talk about a film that you didn't watch now.
I want to go see why my cat's being so antisocial because it's freaking me out.
He's been very antisocial, actually,
Yeah.
isn't he? So, the Many Saints of Newark. Ian, just very quickly, before we do this, have you watched any of The Sopranos? I think you've watched a couple of episodes, haven't you?
Random so basically, right, in my year out, every, I want to say Tuesday, I would go play basketball with some friends of mine, and then we'd go back to one of their house and just smoke weed, and The Sopranos was like on at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we watched it for like maybe a month, 6 weeks, like every Tuesday we watched The Sopranos, even though we came into it at some random point, and then we just stopped watching it. That is my experience of The Sopranos. I couldn't tell you fucking anything, but I know I played basketball beforehand and I smoked weed during.
Because I've watched one episode, the first episode. By the way, this isn't anything to do with the fact I don't think The Sopranos would be good. I will accept the fact, and everyone that tells me, is that it apparently is incredible. But I didn't watch it when it was on, and it's just not something that's... I don't know why. I don't know why. It's TV, and I have a thing about TV.
There's too much of it, and I will watch it when I've retired.
Yeah, I think there's that. I will watch it at some point, but I don't have like 7 seasons worth of brain for it now. So directed by Alan Taylor, who I'm told I've read directed a lot of the episodes of Sopranos, and many of apparently David Chase, creator of Sopranos and writer of Many Saints of Newark. It directed a lot of his favourite episodes of The Sopranos. So stars Alessandro Nivola, Michael Gandolfini playing young Tony Soprano, Leslie Odom Jr., Ray Liotta, Vera Farmiga, Billy Magnuson, who I was baffled when his name came up in the credits at the end and went, what?
That's right, he is in it, yeah.
Yep. Corey Stoll and John Bernthal. Well, what is it the story of? Well, the IMDb synopsis and the trailers, I think, will tell you that it's a look at the formative years of New Jersey gangster Tony Soprano. We are all spoilers all the time here, aren't we, guys? So, Ian, first of all, it's not, is it? That's not what it is the story of, is it?
No, I mean, maybe in like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Kinda.
It's
It's
the story of Dickie Molsultani.
Monsanto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this, and right. So this is the thing. First off, I want to say I'm going to send something in the chat now. So David Chase has directed one film. It was a film from 2011 called Not Fade Away, which I think has not had a release in the UK. Have you ever seen Not Fade Away, Mark?
I have seen Not Fade Away, yes.
Okay, yeah. So I just put a picture of the poster in the Film Bastards chat. And the minute I look at that poster, it's like, I want to watch that film again. Like, yeah. I want that mood. Like, snowy America, 2 young people kissing, let's fucking go. So I was disappointed that David Chase didn't direct this. But anyway, to your question. No, it's not really about Tony Soprano, and it feels like the aspects that are about Tony Soprano are like, well, it's a Soprano story. There has to be some Tony Soprano in it. If it was going to be about Tony Soprano, it needed to weave those threads in through the course of the film, instead of in like the third quarter he starts becoming kind of more involved in his uncle's life, and in the fourth quarter it then being, well, shit, Tony Soprano is shaped by this schism in his relationship with his uncle, blah 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 blah. The rest of the film is this really fucking interesting look at this guy who cannot help himself, even though he really fucking tries to be good. And, you know, like it suffers Catholic guilt, and yet the sins of being a man almost like just make it inevitable that he's going to do the things that he does in this film. And I thought as a character piece, it was really, really fucking engaging. And it's interesting. I was the Empire podcast reviewed this, and one of the critics on there basically called the film pointless because it you know, fans of The Sopranos, it doesn't really add anything and blah blah blah. But coming at it from someone who has very little knowledge of The Sopranos, I thought it was a really fucking interesting look at Catholic guilt. There was a bunch of shit that I knew was flying over my head. And I knew it was. And that was fine, because I knew what the film was going in. But I had a really fucking good time with it. It's not perfect, but I was way more engaged throughout the entire thing than I necessarily expected I was going to. How did you take to it, man?
Once I realised, I was like, the thing is, when it started, and it started at the setting it was starting in, I started thinking, all right, are we going to get like a full-blown, like from youth to, to teenage years, backstory of Tony Soprano?
Sure.
And then after about sort of half an hour, I was like, hang on a minute. We're not, are we? Because we're already like a quarter of the way through the movie. And Michael Gandolfini's not here yet.
Yeah.
And then when you get halfway through the movie and you're like, Michael Gandolfini still isn't here yet. This isn't a fucking Tony Soprano. What is it? This is the story of Dickie. And I think that there's a missive there within like the trailers and everything like that, because you think that it is going to be about the younger life of Tony.
Yeah.
And I have a theory about what's going to happen going forward with this.
Mm-hmm.
But Alessandro Nivola is really fucking good as that character.
It's fucking great.
You know, it's a fantastic performance. And yeah, and I don't spoil all the time. Like you said, the fact that he's not a hothead, but he has these bouts where he can't control himself.
Yeah.
And I thought that's really interesting. He's not renowned. You know, nobody ever utters what it would have been tempting to have done, and it's clever writing. This more than anything else is have somebody at some point saying, "Oh, you know, he's a good guy, that Dickie. Yeah, but he's got a temper, hasn't he?" But that isn't there. He just has these really snapshot moments. And again, the direction of him is quite well done, because, you know, the one with his dad there, as the viewer, you're watching it going, wait a minute, that's killed him. That's going to kill him. but he doesn't realise that it is. And then there's no big, oh my god, there's no like fucking crying in the what have I done, and holding over and going, Papa or anything like that. It's just a shit moment, which is it's a bit of, it would have been so easy to have overplayed that, but he doesn't. And then the bit later on with what's her name? I can't remember her name. His mistress, essentially.
Fucking. I want to say Apollonia, but that's the girl from The Godfather. What the fuck's her name?
It's gonna fucking bug me.
Yeah, no, I've got the IMDb up now. Bear with.
But yeah, when you have the moment where you're almost watching it. Giuseppina, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Where they're finally happy. She's finally happy and settled, and doesn't just feel like the other woman there. And then she's about to tell him this thing, and as an audience member, you're going, you don't have to. Just don't. Just maybe don't. Maybe just keep this one to yourself. And then she tells him, and he has the reaction that you kind of know he's going to have. But again, it's just done and fucking thrown away. And that gets the message across that their entire lives are just disposable. That everything is just something that can be. He moves a lot. There's no big dramaticness to it. It's just he cracks on with life, but he outwardly he doesn't feel it. But going to his uncle to see his uncle in prison, who's removed from this life, he can almost kind of be the more this shit is getting to me of it all, and that's why he cuts off Tony. It makes thematic sense within that.
Yeah.
So it's a study of Catholic guilt and the fact that you're then gonna get. Because do you get the feeling that this is set up for another one?
Yeah. So apparently the idea is it would be Tony Soprano in his 20s.
Yeah.
And Chase would do it if Terence Winter, like one of the key writers on The Sopranos, was involved, and Winter's apparently said he would do it. So it's going to depend on how this does. I'd watch it.
I would. I think it will. I think it will end up getting another movie. I think it'll happen. But it might be one that just goes straight to HBO Max.
Yeah, straight to HBO. Yeah, that makes. I think.
But in saying that, the screen I went to at 2:20 this afternoon was had a fair amount of people in it. So maybe it might end up what is it? But I do think it will be one that'll be a HBO Max one, but a very prestige HBO Max one. Because this movie is very good, it's very well shot, everything like that. But I did at some points feel like I was watching a really polished pilot.
Yeah. I mean, there is that. I mean, it looks good, but it doesn't look amazing. There is barely any score.
No. But did I feel when it finished in the cinema, did I feel in any way cheated out of, well, that's not a film? And in fact, God no. I really enjoyed watching this at the cinema. And I think a lot of it is to do with the acting. I am still mildly unsure about Michael Gandolfini. But then again, in saying that, we watched something with Michael Gandolfini in it, didn't we? The other day.
Yeah.
It's not a film or anything like that. It was a cooking show.
Yeah.
And that isn't just him. What is it? He is
Binging with Babish, guys, on YouTube if you want to.
Yeah.
Check it
Oh, interesting. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's they make the ziti from what is it? and Michael Gandolfini's talking about the process and bits like that within that, and he's very different to that. But Michael Gandolfini very much seems to have a face that he's never had to fight. He's never had a fight. And that's not a criticism, it's not a negative for it. But I'm guessing the idea is that Tony Soprano might have had to have a fight. But I do get the feeling that the next one is going to be Michael Gandolfini as younger Tony Soprano goes after Leslie Odom Jr.
Yeah, which would be something.
And I watched that because I thought Leslie Odom Jr. was very good in this as well.
Yeah, and it was interesting. So, like, I thought he was good as well. But like a couple of the narrative steps that were made, like when Giuseppina shags Harold.
Yeah,
I was a little bit like, why? How? What? When? How did this? Because beforehand, I swear, in the film, they only see each other where she's in the car.
No, there's the other bit in the club.
Oh, in the club.
Yeah.
When she's and he's like, you shouldn't stare at them. Like, you shouldn't stare at them. They don't like that, right?
Yeah, she
okay.
That bit gives him the I want to fuck you eyes.
Yeah. Okay, no, good, thank you. Because like in the moment, I was a bit like, what the fuck's going on here? Then, but no, that actually makes sense now. Okay, and just one other thing as well. The guy who plays Silvio, I don't remember Silvio in The Sopranos, but that felt just in that like someone doing an impression of someone they watched on TV.
It's Steve Van Zandt.
The one in The Sopranos is Steve Van Zandt, or
it's Steve Van Zandt, yeah. So yeah, that very much did feel quite cartoonish. I purposely, before I went into this, didn't check to see who was playing which characters.
Yeah.
But straight away I was like, oh, you're Steve Van Zandt.
And I mean, like, just the way that he's constantly holding his hands down and kind of doing the like palms up, kind of like shaking them, like, what you gonna do? You know, like there's in this movie there's a lot of yeah, but it's like 95% of it is coming from him.
Yeah. Bernthal gets a great O.
Actually, Bernthal does get a great O. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know. That was interesting. I will say as well, I'm assuming there's a reason why Corey Stoll's character is like, he made me slip up. Fuck, even though he didn't. Fuck him, I'm gonna murder him.
Yeah. And that's like, the thing.
That felt like maybe that hair trigger aspect of the character is in The Sopranos or something, because that felt a bit whoa.
Yeah, you're like because you're gonna. I would assume that the next movie, if it happens / when it happens, will be Tony going after Harold, and because he thinks that he's had Dickie killed when he didn't. But yeah, knowing nothing about The Sopranos, the night people who have watched The Sopranos, and there will be people who watch Sopranos listening, who are going, no, dickhead. Which is perfectly fine. But the movie gives off that fucking vibe. There is one performance in it, though, that I think was a little bit like, I'm not sure on this. This must be because of a character in the TV series, because Vera Farmiga is not very good in this.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's way too much. Yeah.
Yeah, like, she's not in it that much, but when she is in it, that scene with her and the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Come on. And like when it's like John Bernthal's Welcome Home and she just flies off the handle. Yeah. No, you're right. She's not great in this.
No, it's a bit of a shame. She's all prosthetics up.
Yeah.
And every scene she has seems like she has a mental breakdown in the scene.
Oh.
Every single one. Yeah. What I will say is that burger she makes for young Tony.
That looked good burger.
It did look good, didn't it?
Did look like a good burger, that.
Yeah, and how excited he seems to be about it being a burger. He's like, oh, wow, you made a burger.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
I'd be excited if I had that.
I would be excited about that burger. Looked like a good fucking burger.
Did.
I really enjoyed it. When I watched the other one, abso-fucking-lutely. If you'd have said to me about 10, 15 minutes away from the end, if you'd have stopped it and then turned around at me and gone, right, do you now want to watch The Sopranos? I'd still have gone, like that. But then when it hit the end, I was like,
you would have made a noise like a door was creaking open.
yeah, I'd have made the door creaking noise.
Right, okay.
But at the end of it, I was going, yeah, all right. That, you know, the end shot, and when the Sopranos music kicks in, I'm not even a Sopranos fan because I haven't watched it or anything like that. But even I went, all right. And then the sequel setting up was quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to watch The Sopranos.
Yeah, it's. I really quite liked it. It does feel like a TV pilot though.
Does it?
Yeah. Fair.
But a TV pilot that I had a great time watching at the cinema.
Yeah. No, I mean that's it. It's a good time. It's a good time. This is two non-Sopranos watchers saying it's a good time.
Yeah. So I genuinely hope that Sopranos fans aren't disappointed by it.
Yeah, straight up.
But yeah, and as well, I think had this been not a Sopranos movie and just a David Chase writes a small town gangster mafia film, I think Alessandro Nivola would be getting a little bit of chatter because he's fucking brilliant in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I give it 3.5 on Letterboxd, and I think I was a little bit harsh there. I think it's a 4.
It's as good as Green Knight.
In its way, yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
Yes.
I think it is. And again, the acting, with the exception of Vera Farmiga, is all brilliant. And how
Is she really, really bad?
she's really bad in it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean she's not great. Yeah.
How angry Billy Magnussen gets because his new jacket's been ruined.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
It's fucking brilliant. Yeah, that's great. The fact that he moves from somewhere to like, oh no, come on, Dickie, I've just bought his jacket like yesterday. So he moves to a different place to do the other bit of it, so he doesn't get blood on him, and then gets blood all over him. He's like, fuck. Yeah, he's really quite good. Our audience poll, definitely not shit, 60%. Touching cloth, 20%. And shit, 20%.
Okay. All right.
Questions. We have one this week from Rick Jacob. Watched ICU last night. It's one of Margot Robbie's first films, and it's truly appalling. So what are the worst films you've seen from the early careers of now well-regarded stars?
Twilight Saga.
That feels a little bit easy, that one, Becky.
I know.
You went for some low-hanging fruit there.
It was low hanging fruit, but it's the obvious answer.
Which is why I'm going to say that you can't have it.
So is this the first film of their career or the first film you saw them in?
I think it can just be an early film. I'm reading it as an early film from an actor.
Because I mean, like Jennifer Lawrence in The House at the End of the Street. Like the fact, because I don't think it was her first film, but the fact that basically, I'm pretty sure her first films were, God, she was in actually, I think her first film was The Beaver. I think that's the fucking answer. I need to look this up now.
Was it? Fucking hell.
I don't think Winter's Bone was her first film. That's the thing.
No, I don't think it was it? I think she'd done a couple. I think she'd done a couple before that.
By the way, I am looking forward to the return of Jennifer Lawrence. Like, she's had a couple years off.
Oh, no, Winter's Bone was before The Beaver.
Oh, Winter's Bone was before The Beaver. All right. She got lucky there then. God, Jennifer Lawrence is like 30. God, I feel old. I mean, she's been around forever, but still. First film was Garden Party.
Yeah.
God, yeah, she was in a lot in the. God, she was in a lot of fucking films in the early teens.
Yeah, she did a lot, didn't she?
God, no, I mean, like, no wonder it was like, oh, people are sick of fucking seeing her and blah blah blah.
Well, you look at it. 2011, 3 movies. 2012, 3 movies. 2013, 3 movies. And by the way, the 2012 2012, 3 movies. 2013, 3 movies. 2014, 3 movies. 2015, 2 movies. 2016, 3 movies. Right? So just in that 4-year period, she racked out like at least 3 movies a year. And they were all like big releases, with the exception of maybe The House at the End of the Street and Serena. The rest of them were all big movies.
People need to fucking learn stuff. People like The Rock and people like that need to look at that and go, do I want to have to take a few years off because everyone's fucking sick of my face?
But
Ryan Reynolds needs to do the same.
It's the Ryan Gosling thing of the Ryan Gosling literally decided he was going to take a bit of a sabbatical because the same billboard poster for like a year and a half had his films on it every day, driving it to work. I don't know if it was his mum driving it to work, and she mentioned it, and he was like, right, this is too much.
I just have to say as well, it's not an answer, but Oscar Isaac's name in the Bourne legacy.
Yeah.
Outcome number 3.
I don't even. Yeah, I mean, he must have been like just in the background in one of those.
He's like some, like either like a contact or something that like Jeremy Renner ends up killing. But like he had like a scene. I remember I've only seen that film once, and it's in the cinema. He has a scene where he is in kind of like an icy log cabin. I'm going to watch the Bourne. I'm not going to watch all the Bourne films again, but I might watch the Bourne Legacy again.
Just to see.
Wow. Do you know what? Ryan Gosling has never been in a bad movie.
Yes, he has.
The closest is Gangster Squad.
No.
What?
He has been in a bad movie.
What?
He has. All Good Things.
Yeah, All Good Things wasn't great.
Yeah, it's not very good. All Good Things. But yeah, you're right. You know, I would say one that an outlier from his early years would maybe be Stay.
We quite liked Stay, didn't we?
I can't remember, which means I'm probably going to rewatch it. But is it that Ryan Gosling's good in that, but Ewan McGregor is bad in it and his trousers are distracting?
I don't know.
Right.
I feel like we liked
We
Stay.
will watch Stay
Okay.
this week, but I guarantee you there is a thing about Ewan McGregor's trousers being distracting in it.
If it's on anything.
It
is not.
Can I have one? I'm going to mildly cheat, but not cheating the way Becky cheats.
I didn't cheat.
But yeah, I'm going to go random, just bad. Like, but younger, before they became like a big star. And I'm going to go for Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who of course had been in TV and had been in movies when he was a young child actor, and then had Brick and bits like that. But the movie Kill Shot that happens just before 500 Days of Summer came out, but after things like where he'd become a bit of an indie darling with Mysterious Skin, Brick, and The Lookout, which were all great movies. But before 500 Days of Summer and Inception and bits like that. Yeah, Kill Shot. It's a John Madden movie for a start off. And it has Dan Lane, Thomas Jane and Mickey Rourke and Rosario Dawson in it, but it has Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing like a hothead, and he's terrible in it.
Right.
Which is weird because he's a really good actor, but he's awful in this. But then again, when Mickey Rourke is the selling point of your movie, at this point in time, you know that it's not going to be that great.
It's a fair point.
It's an oddly bad movie for the talent that it has in it. An oddly bad movie.
I'm going to need to go in a minute because I think I've got to do Lottie's bedtime story. So
that's not. I think we're about rounding up now anyway, aren't we? So yeah, that's what I'm going for. Kill Shot. Weirdly bad movie. There. So that was episode 416. What are we covering next week? We don't need to say that, do we, this week?
Hell yeah.
It's Bond.
So, Night Time Tonight. There is something hitting streaming as well. There is something hitting streaming.
The Guilty.
That was it.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that as well. So we've got Red Shoes, The Guilty, and Bond.
So, No Time to Die, The Guilty, Bond, Hellraiser 3, and Hellraiser 4, and we're recording Monday.
Yes.
Hang on. No Time to Die. Guilty.
Yeah.
Go again.
Red Shoes. And the 2 Hellraiser movies.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. It's not going to be any there's not going to be any what we watched from me next week then.
We might get this.
Fucking hell.
We're packing boxes, yeah. And we might hopefully have John McGrath on as well.
Yeah.
McGrath.
Yeah. For this. So that is always an absolute fucking pleasure. Thank you for listening, guys. Ian, you go and read your daughter bedtime story. We're going to go buy pizza. Yeah. Goodbye.
Nice one. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Cheers. Right, you get off, bud.
All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.